Hey guys, welcome on back to the AnKorage, and this is Dinner Quest. Hey, well, welcome on back to Dinner Quest, and here we are in my kitchen. Here's my stove. This is my toaster oven. We're going to be using that today. And what are we going to be doing today? Well, let's say we'll go for the obvious thing. Spaghetti, dinner, lasagna, tortellini, whatever. Anything where you would want to have garlic bread for. Now, how can we do it on the cheap? Well, I've discovered a way, and it gave me the inspiration to do this. Bread, with prices and everything these days, they are getting, it's getting expensive. Still, bread itself is still somewhat cheap and whatnot, but at the same time, it can add up. So, yeah, you get the pre-made stuff in the freezer section and everything like that, but it's like, there's something about doing it yourself. And, so there's a little bit of a DIY, if you want to look at it in that kind of a term. But, harking back to the old days when we used to have to cook our dinners and things like that, that's why they still make these today. What we've got is, I have in the pan here some melted butter, and I've also got some parsley flakes here for this as well. But I've also got some garlic powder, some dried garlic powder, and this stuff lasts a good long while. And this is still, this says it's good until, or it says it's best by, is January of 26. But even then, it's still going to be good for a long time thereafter. Why is that? It's because it's dried. All of the goodness in the garlic is, it's dried, and it's therefore concentrated into the dried granules. So this will be good for a good long while. The same thing with the parsley. I've had this for a few years already, and I've only used so much, So, granted, you can't really see that, but in either sense, I've got that there. I've got the butter, I've got the garlic, I've got parsley flakes for the sake of making it look pretty, and then of course there's the bread. Now I've got a piece of bread here. This is probably one of the more expensive things on a day-to-day basis. Yeah, this was a pretty good amount because we've got 1.5 pounds in here, so basically 680.4 grams. So there's a lot of that garlic powder. Now, but on a day-to-day basis, bread, stuff like that, I've discovered a pretty cheap and efficient way to find bread. If you go to a local submarine shop, sandwich shop, which we have one in town here, and I just happened to go and get a steak sub yesterday, and on one of the counters off to the side were these bags of ends of sub rolls, and so I happened to see the price of it, and I'll come a little closer so you can actually see it. So this is the end of a sub roll. They cut a portion, they use a portion, and this piece was just, this is the end, so it gets thrown off to the side. This stuff would make great garlic bread, and that's what I'm going to be doing with it today. Now, the bag had 6 of these in it, so 6 of these cost me $1.40. So basically, they're just trying to get a little money back for what they spent on the cost of the bread. Perfectly fine. So I'm going to take this. I got my little cutting board here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this in half. So I'm going to take that. I used to work in the sub shop, so I am very familiar with the processes for this. And of course, having just been bread, stuff like that, I could just throw it back up. I'll go ahead and wash it after anyways. Alright, so I've got 2 halves here. So what I want to do is put these on my cutting board, give them there, and then what you want to grab is a pastry brush, like that. So you want to have that handy. So what we want to do is we want to put some of this garlic powder right into the butter. So you put butter in there, you melt it up, put a little bit of the garlic powder in there, then with your pastry brush you want to mix it all up. If you get any clumps or whatever, you can push them off to the side. If you like a lot of garlic, go ahead and use it. If you only want a little garlic, you just want to graze it. So we just want to get all of that worked in there and get a lot of that butter inside the bristles of the pastry brush. And then what you do is you take your bread and you basically paint it. So we'll do that here. Make sure that you don't want to get it sopping wet because you're going to be toasting this. That's what the toaster oven is for. So you just want to make sure you get at least a little bit over as much of it, the surface area of the exposed area as possible. And of course, if you want to get that garlic on there, that's perfectly fine. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do the next one. Some people would take the bread and just put it right on in and just suck up everything they did. You don't want to do that because you want it's kind of like a garlic toast, but you don't want bread completely sopped with all of the butter because it just becomes a buttery, slimy mess. So I'll get that on there. Just pat that, and I'll come over and basically here we've got it, and just basically just tap it in and just kind of loosely paint it on. If anything drops, whatever. And then that's all done. Put that off to the side. And then if you want, not everybody would do this, but they'd paint some of the butter on the base. Perfectly okay. I'll go ahead and do that. Why not? It doesn't have to be a whole lot. You just want a little bit. So there's that. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this up. Throw that up on top there. I want to put it directly on the grate. So that one there. I'll put this one off to the side. Go like that. And set it up for toast. And get that on toast. There we go. It's set for toast. I've got it on toaster. We're going to let that go. And we'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. And just for the sake of the light up here on the ceiling fan, I adjusted the position of everything. So I'm going to grab the garlic bread / toast. And this looks beautiful. Oh, this is awesome. All right, so coming over with it. So here we go. Here it is. I'll show it to you. It's nice, and it's golden brown around the edges. And, we got a nice little brownness there, a little bit, not a whole lot. Yeah, I didn't do the parsley flakes just because A, I forgot, and B, it's not really necessary. You do what you want to do. You could dress it up more with some, rosemary if you want. Some other, seasonings, spices, stuff like that. You could even put some shredded cheese on there, so you get cheesy garlic bread. You could do that. So, excuse me. So let's see how this came out. So, that's good. You got the butter there. Helps to make the crispy. Then you get the garlic infusion of sorts. Working with it. And then, of course, you get the crustiness. It's really good. So that happens to be, doing some garlic bread on the cheap of sorts. And that's using bread from a local sub shop, sandwich shop. I mean, I got 6 sub roll ends for $1.40. That's really good. And this is a really good snack. So I'm going to have my snack. And thank you for coming along, and we'll catch you later. So thank you very much. Skål. Eat to victory.